So I'm attempting to become a professional day trader, and every single day I'm coming in and I'm documenting every single bit of that journey. And today is day 8. Every single day I'm using Thinkorswim's paper trading simulator and placing real trades in the market if I see an opportunity based on the strategy I've laid out for myself. And every single day I'm trying to consistently stack up green trades so that way I can practice and build my skills up and really learn how this works, with the goal of eventually being able to fund a real account and trade with real money in the market. And I'm really hoping that I haven't begun a red streak, because today was the second red trade of this entire experiment. And like I said, this is day 8. So for 6 days, I traded green, and now we've got the second day in a row where we've got a losing trade. I've got all the live footage from that. I've got all my thought process. I've documented. I've recorded it live doing a screen share. So right now we're going to turn over to my screen, and you're going to be able to watch exactly how all of that happened. So 2 today mainly that I'm looking at, it's going to be IVP and Zap. They're both underneath the $5 range that I like to be in, but they do fit all of the criteria according to the scan. So IVP saw this massive surge up in the pre-market today, going from $1.63 all the way up to a high of $3.91. So that's a, what is that? That's going to be 200, 300. That's a 143% change. But what I don't like is when you look at the daily chart, it's really beaten down quite a bit, very, very bad. And we're seeing lower highs and we're seeing lower lows as well. So what's this going to do, right? We have this little tiny little section here where we're making higher highs. Are we going to kind of squeeze and push up when the market opens? I'd be interested to see that. I think if we push above this high, then I think we could probably do okay. But we're going to wait for that to happen, and then we're going to see at that point if we go from here, can we go past this? And if we can go past this, we might be able to go past this. But first, I've got to see it at least break this. I've got to see a new high, like the trend is going to change. So we'd have to move quite a bit just to get to this high again. So maybe we see the break of this and we'll see what happens there. But that's just this one. So this one here, Zap, has been trending for quite a few days. So if we pulled up the 5-day, 5-minute real quick, this chart has been having quite a considerable amount of movement every single day. And now last night had a massive amount of movement, or this morning rather. Continued trending up in the after hours on Friday, I believe. And then it just massively surged up. This is looking kind of strong to me right now. Could be wrong, but I'm not taking an entry because I don't have the entry signal. We've got to break this high first. And then we might even wait for the break. Well, no, we don't have to do that. We just got to wait for the break of this high. That'll confirm that we're going to still trend up. But it's looking strong to me because we're getting a lot of green on the tape, and because of how thin these ask orders are and how the bids just keep stacking up sort of right at the same level, at the level it's trading at. There it goes. So now it's pushing up. So let's see, is it going to break through this level? It already did briefly, but there we go. So now we could probably look for an entry, but we're in the middle of a move. Let's see if we get a little bit of a pullback and then a push back to the upside again. I don't want to get in the middle of a move, but definitely seeing some resistance around that $7.50 mark. And that could be a squeeze, right? There could be a short squeeze there. Now we're kind of consolidating there. See how we topped 750? So that's interesting to me. We had a little resistance right here, a little tiny little topping tail to hit that right there. But are we going to push back down, or are we going to push through? Looks like we're pushing down. So that would be an exit signal, actually, or just about to be. If we were to have gotten in on this candle, that would have been our exit signal. So we didn't trend far enough to take any profit, or didn't trend far enough to get out with a profit, rather, if we were to hold the whole position from entry signal to exit signal, because the entry is going to be right here, right? If we were to take it that way without looking for the break of the high. Yeah, big down there. Big down. Good thing we didn't get in. And precisely why I was waiting for the break of this high. It's exactly why I was waiting for the break of this level here, because it was looking strong and it looked like it was going to push up, and it did. And it broke this high even. So that would have been a crazy, crazy fake out. But we had this level here, and we're also trading, right? If we come back to this 1-day chart, I could actually even put my 90-day chart down here, make it a little easier. We're way higher than we've been in a very, very long time. Looks like we're halted down right now, actually. All just red on the tape. Look at all this red. But we are halted down right now. So let's see where we're going to open up. We're at 650. The ask is a little bit lower. Okay, well, we got to wait for this to resume now. But lots and lots and lots of sell orders at 655 right now. Huge amount of sell orders. 22.5, 7,000, 2,500, 1,900, 1,000, 900, and then more of them stacked up. And we really don't have much on the bid. Now, this guy over here, let's see what's happening. So this was trending down pre-market, right? So we saw this move up. We have this high. So we have a high here, obviously. And then we come down, we have a lower high and then a lower high, accompanied with lower lows as well. Here, you could almost say it bounced off the VWAP, but then it didn't do the same thing. It just pushed right through it. It didn't care. And now it's pushed down even further at market open. Now, this one here really isn't doing anything interesting that's of interest to us. It's just going down in price. So we'll probably just not keep watching this one. Let's go back over to Zap and see what's happening over here. So I think it's 5 minutes. I don't know how long ago this got halted, but I think it's 5 minutes before it will resume. And we'll see what happens when it opens back up. Now, the level 2 is saying 665, 664 on the bid, but I think we're going to go much lower than that because we have massive sell wall at 655. A lot of people want to get out at that number, and I don't think there's going to be the buyers for it. Okay, it looks like trading's resumed on this. We gapped way down after that halt. We're just gapping down further. It's just interesting to watch. So I'm not seeing where there's potentially an opportunity here that I'm waiting for. I'm just watching it just so I can kind of observe and mainly watch the level 2. I want to see if any kind of patterns are going to form that are going to lead to a particular move that maybe will stand out to me as something unusual or as something I wasn't expecting. Or maybe I'm just trying to also kind of predict what I think is going to happen and then wait to see if I'm correct on that. So I was kind of expecting a little bit of consolidation right after this halt opened up with a gap down. And so far I was right about that. And now there's just a lot of different tug of war kind of stuff happening with the price, even though it's only been a very, very, very short period. It's a lot of tug of war happening here. We are seeing volume decreasing on these sell candles, which is, I guess, a good thing. We had volume much higher as it was going up. So does that mean there's a more of an interest in pushing this stock to the upside? Maybe. So we had this level of resistance right here, which kind of became a little bit of a support right here. And then we've got this level right here, which is what we're trading at right now. So if I put a line right there. Now, I don't know that this means anything. This is the only time it really hit this level. So it would have to do something over here for it to really mean something. We're not at a psychological level either. So 625 is the $0.25 is not a wall, in my opinion, not at $6 a share. And if I zoom in now on all the trading action for today, we are kind of consolidating a little bit on this line. So is this going to be a bottom, or is the break of this going to mean the next leg down? And that next leg down could be to this resistance, or we don't really have like a solid support anywhere. I guess it could be right here because we have resistance, support, and then support, but this is more respecting the 180 than anything else. We broke below that already, so it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. To me, it means we're trending down. It means we're making lower moves. It does look like we're pushing up. It does look like we're getting some buyers to come in, but if they don't hold, if they don't continue to come in, we're going right down to $6, I think. I think this is a slight correction for us to go right down to $6. We saw a push up. I was too busy looking at my drawing tools. I don't know what the hell an Andrews pitchfork is, but I was looking at it. We're seeing a good push up here. The ask is looking kind of thin. We could push right through $7. And there we go. Is it going to break? Ooh, it's looking close. The break of $7, that could be, this was a support right here, so we would expect this to become resistance. And it's a psychological level too, those things aside. Let's see. We don't have very much of a wall there. And we do have, it's quite a bit thicker on the bid. There's 7. Let's get in a little closer to the action here. So yeah, we have this little bit of support here. We kind of touched it and then we popped through it just briefly. And there we go. So, okay. So this could be a trend change. This is very interesting. How high are we going to push? Are we going to break this high right here? But the pattern's kind of gone. See, it's tough. It's hard to make that call. The pattern's gone. We've got a lot of really good volume coming in as this pushed up. What did we actually make it to? $7.20. Can't get in now. We're right in the middle of a move. We can see volume decreasing a little bit, and now it's starting to struggle. The ask is looking quite thin. We've got quite a few buyers around the $7 mark. They don't want it to go below 7. Oop, there we go. We just pushed a little higher. Now, I don't have a 10-second chart inside of Thinkorswim. Some traders have it on the platforms they use, and this could have resembled like a micro pullback here on that 10-second chart and then pushed up, right? So they could have seen a good entry here. We didn't see it. We're seeing a lot of strength to the upside, though. So we're getting back up near that 750 level. Let's zoom this out just a little bit, because if we can break that, if we can get a little bit of a pullback down and then a test again and then a break, or we might just break it now. Who knows? If we break that, we're going right to 683. Yeah, we're going to see, wow, we could potentially see a huge upside move. It just got halted up, and there's a lot of buyers at 766. This is going to go up, I think. This is going to go really up. That's my prediction. Now, this is where I said this in the last video, and I did some more research over the weekend, and I didn't get too deep into this particular thing, which is my fault. I need to figure out and learn what it means down in these areas, right? Because what I'm seeing is a huge change in the trend, huge change in the pattern. When we look at what happened in the pre-market, right? We look at a huge push up, a big correction down, and then we see it pushes up, comes down, makes a higher low, pushes up, makes a higher high, a higher low, and then we came up, and then the market opened and everything changed. It just got way more volatile. It moved down a whole bunch, and now it's moving up a ton. What is the opportunity in here, and how do I identify it? Is this a dip buy? Would this be a dip trade? I can't reasonably make an entry anywhere down here because this looks as though we just have a trend change, right? A new low is never an indication that I should buy, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. Maybe that will change, but that to me is not an indication that I should be buying into a stock. Now, obviously, this saw a huge leg up. So if we took, and maybe I can create my own strategy here, but this made a new high after this, right? We got candles starting to make higher low, and then we got a new high as well. Is this an entry? And if it is, we still don't have an exit. That would have been a 20% move. Incredible trade. What do I have to see? What are the signals? What are the indicators there that this is a good, because this is now multiple times I've seen this. Multiple times I've seen this. Through here, this is kind of, right, this price action's not bad. So if we looked at this here, let's zoom this out a bit, and let's just look at this section in here. So if we're watching this, and we see, so this move up, and then we tested this, we come back down, and I'd be looking for the break of this. So we come here, we tested it, we didn't get it. We push back down. We consolidated a little bit more. We made a bounce off of the 180, and then we come in here, we make a high, we come up, and then we push through. Now at this point, this would be an entry right here, because we broke through that high. So zooming in, right, breaking through that high, 575. Where was the actual high? So the high back here was 568. We broke through that on increasing volume, and we could have a stop loss down here, this previous candle, which was 557. You could almost put it right at the psychological level. And then you ride this up, and you would have actually seen a move all the way up to 627. But my point is we'd hit the profit target, right? Getting in at 575 definitely would have done some profit taking between there and $6 because the profit target's 15 to 20 cents of increase. So you would have taken some profit, taken some of the position out, and then we would have seen this start to move down, but we didn't hit our stop loss. So we could have stayed in according to the strategy, or we could have just taken the exit signal and gotten the rest of the position out at break even. We just resumed. So let's zoom this out and see what's going to happen. So we pushed way up to that 7 level. We broke the high. This is just an incredible move. So our high is at 830, and now we're seeing a little bit of a leg down on lower volume. Still a good amount of volume, but lower volume. We're seeing this leg down. So now we got this big sell-off here. It looks like we're coming right back up. And we just blasted right through that level we were at before, which was down here around 640. Are we going to break through this 750?
And I mean, we could potentially go right to $8 here. Same thing though. We pushed right up to that 760 and we got stuck there. Now we're getting a little bit of a wall built up around 749. Oh, there it goes. Kind of want to take a small position if we're going to break up again, right? If we're going to get like an entry here and the level 2 looks good, then I kind of want to take an entry. But we do have a lower high here. Lower high, but also higher lows as well. So there we go. 733. I'm thinking the break of 740 could be a good spot. Oh, huge wall at 740. Huge, massive wall just popped up. I want to see that break of 740. I'm thinking I'm going to take a small position there if we get that, to see if we then push up to this previous high. And we might be cooling off a little bit too, because people might have probably made a lot of money through here. So they might say, okay, that's good enough, I'm done. And they walk away. There we go. Break above that 740. I put the order in. Volume's coming up. 734 is our... So we're gonna cut losses right here at like 715. But we've been kind of holding this level here pretty good. They couldn't hold it. It's looking weak. We should probably bail out. Oof. Evil. And why didn't you fill? I wanted to sell on the bid there. Okay. Got out for a loss there. $200. That's why I took a small position. It was looking a little bit on the weak side. We may get another opportunity if it's going to push up. But this is kind of... These are the patterns we're kind of seeing here. Lower highs. That's why I didn't go in with the 10,000 shares. Just because of that... You know, that downside we've been seeing, this weakness that's been coming in. We do have increasing volume, but it wound up being like a tug of war. So we could try again right here and we'll see what happens if we break above that level again. But I don't want to just keep giving money into the market, trading it backwards. So I think there is a good opportunity we go back up. I just think we don't have the strength anymore. I don't know why it's not filling instantly though. I said to sell on the bid. It's submitting limit orders at whatever that bid is right there. So it's not filling, which I guess worked in our favor. But I wanted to just get like an instant out, and it's not giving that to us. So I got to look into figuring out why the software is doing that. It might take another position. We'll see what happens here. The reason I took that is because we did see a good increase in the volume as we pushed up, and we broke through that level where we were stuck a whole bunch, right? We were stuck at it here. We were stuck at it right here, and we popped through it. And I was looking at the level 2, and I says, yeah, this could be the move up. I took a smaller share size because I wasn't super confident in it. I was still quite uncertain. So whatever that amounted to be at the stop loss, I was okay with it. But we just didn't get it. It was another false breakout. And maybe I should have known better because we do have these lower highs happening here. But I was suspecting that because we were holding this so well above 7, that we wouldn't break below 7. So that was it. At that point, I closed down the trading simulator, and that was the end of my trading for the day. And editing that footage back was an extremely painful thing to do because I basically laid out all the reasons why I should not take the trade before I took the trade. And then afterwards, I talked about all those same reasons again. So I really just had no business making that trade anyway. At the time, it seemed like a good idea. At the time, it really looked like there was a great opportunity coming. In hindsight, looking at that chart, I think my decisions should have been a lot different, but this is all part of the process. So I've got to learn what to look out for, what indicators I should be paying attention to, and I just got to pay better close attention to some of these charts, and I got to build up that intuition so that way I can make better decisions on the fly. And this is all part of the process. This is why I'm using a simulator right now instead of just throwing real money at an account and potentially blowing it up. Now, overall, I don't hate everything about the way the trade went. I do like that I managed the risk properly. So I didn't take as big of a position as I was on other stocks at that price. I was taking share sizes of about 10,000 on the positions. And this one, I decided to only go with 1,000 because of that little bit of uncertainty. I also, I think, did a pretty good job of bailing out. As soon as we saw it wasn't going in the right direction, we got out when we hit the stop loss. I know that can be a sticking point for a lot of beginner traders where they don't have the discipline to just get out and cut their losses. And instinctively, you kind of don't want to. I didn't really want to either from a emotional perspective. Even in this trade with fake money in a simulator, I really didn't want to hit the sell button. I wanted to wait and see if it was going to correct. And all I had going for me was a little bit of hope. But I need to collect good data and I need to build up this skill set. And I know that the correct thing to do there was to bail out and to just get out of that trade and cut my losses immediately. So let's take to the spreadsheet here. I've gone ahead and logged this trade. So you can see that at 10:20 a.m., we got into Zap with 1,000 shares at 734. And then not even a full 60 seconds later, about 50 seconds later, we got out with all 1,000 shares at $7.14, resulting in a $200 loss, which brings our running profit and loss down to $10,340. Now, that being said, this isn't a very large loss. And if we scroll up this list, it's actually a smaller loss than most of our wins. We have one, two, this one doesn't really count, 3 wins that are smaller than the size of that loss. And some of these were even selling just the remainder of a position for some profit. So if I can manage my risk that way and I can keep my ratios, my profit to loss ratios looking like this is actually going in the right direction still. I'm not super upset about everything that went down in this trade, like I said before. Definitely wouldn't do it again, looking back at the chart in hindsight, but I'm not totally upset with the way that this went, and I'm not upset about the position that we're in now. Now, we're going to see what happens over the rest of the week and the next coming weeks, because like I said, I'm going to be documenting every single trade I take, every single day that I trade on this YouTube channel, and you're going to get a replay of the live footage as it happened in my entire thought process. But if I can continue with this, right, we've got not even $1,000 in losses, but over $10,000 in gains so far. That's something I'm super happy about. Now, I'm also going to be documenting everything on this spreadsheet so we can see the real-time running profit and loss as all these trades go down. Now, if you want a copy of this spreadsheet, there is a link to it down in the description. This is something I made myself, and it will just very simply track the trades as you enter them. So it's really, really handy for me, and I'm kind of a spreadsheet math guy, so I really like these types of things. But I'm thinking that if I can continue to manage my risk this way, we shouldn't start going in the wrong direction. If we can break this red streak, or if I could at least figure out why I can start to consistently make red trades, then I should be able to eliminate the issue. But we're going to see what happens. That's why we're doing this experiment. I really want to paint a good picture for anybody else who's brand new, just like I am, starting out, doing this for the first time, what it may look like going down that journey, and the reasoning for some of the decisions that I make, and the reasoning for some of the strategies that I'm using. And like I said, I'm brand new. I have no experience doing this. I am not a professional day trader by any stretch. So this being only my 8th day, I can't really be upset about the results that we've gotten so far. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to keep following me on this journey and get notified every single time I publish a video, which is going to be every single day that I trade, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button down below. It seems like I'm really starting to build up a decent little community here of overwhelmingly positive people leaving comments on my posts. And if you liked this video genuinely, then feel free to throw a like on this. It helps the algorithm and it helps more people find my channel. Definitely feel free to also go back to the very beginning of this journey. You'll be able to find a playlist on my channel where it'll take you from day 1 all the way through to today, and you can watch everything back that you may have missed. But otherwise, I will see you tomorrow in the next one. Thanks for watching.